Hi, Mihal. Thank you so much for your time today. As you know, I'm already recording. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Okay,
Yep.
so my name is Jennifer. Today we'll be evaluating HBO Max website, and I will ask you to complete some tasks, and I would like you to do it very naturally as I wasn't here. So before we start, I would like to tell you that there are no mistakes here. Any difficulties we might run into reflect only the website, not your skills. And what works well is great. What doesn't work well is also great because then I can identify these places. Please do not feel that you have to hold any fallback from me just to be polite or anything. The main thing to keep in mind is that I'm here to learn from you, all your positive or negative reactions. The recording of the session is gonna be mostly used by me to go back and review what you said, and I might share some clips of this recording with for the project. And while you are working, I would like you to tell me everything that is on your mind, like what you are doing, why you are doing that, where you are looking, what you are expecting. So basically anything you are thinking, I would like you to share with me. And then in the end of the session, you're gonna answer a 5-minute survey. So the entire session is gonna take around 30 to 40 minutes. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, do you have any question?
Nothing so far.
Okay, thank you. So now we are ready to begin. Can you share with me your screen, please?
Yep. Can you see it?
Yeah. Can you access HBO Max?
HBO Max. Okay.
Okay, so now I would like you to show me how we would choose a movie to watch.
So I choose a movie to watch. It depends, on my mood and kind of a movie I would watch. I would probably start by looking for like categories. So I'm honestly like not using HBO also like, every day. So my first thought was, because like I scrolled down here and I haven't seen like categories, so I went straight for the menu, and then I have categories I see here on the left, and I'll probably depending on my mood, let's say I wanna watch a crime movie, I would go for this, and just look for titles I want. Honestly, I also like have my separate list of movies to watch. So even though I could find movies probably here, I would probably have some movies in mind prior to looking for them in HBO. But let's say, I don't know, I want to watch John Wick. So this is probably how I do it.
Okay, so you say you had a list of movies. Where do you have this list of movies to watch?
I have it on my attached to Gmail on the like right hand side. There's like a list tool where you can make lists with check marks. So usually when people recommend me that, so I have it like on all my devices. I have like separate lists for like restaurants or like places to check out or movies to watch or musicians to check out. So like I usually just add to that list when I hear someone saying, "Oh, there's a show you should check out," because also like especially with shows, I don't usually like to mix them up. So like I'm trying not to watch multiple shows at the same time. So I prefer just to add it to a list and then have it there waiting for me, so I know always to go back there. And also right now with multiple streaming services, like I don't know where I would find it. So I think having one collection for me is more useful, because if I add it to my list on different platforms, I might totally forget to check that platform, and having all of them in one place works best for me.
Okay. So, sorry, you also say that you don't use HBO Max every day. Like, what is the frequency in a normal week that you will use? Like, how many
Probably,
times?
yeah, probably more often on weekends than on weekdays. I'm trying to also right now, because of the Zoom life, I'm trying after work to spend less time in the front of computer. So I would probably be using it more often if I would be working outside in regular work setup. But because like after spending 8-9 hours on Zoom, I just like get kind of a screen fatigue. So yeah, I would say I use it maybe 2 times a week.
Okay. Uh, and those categories that you show me,
Yep.
uh, do you know where else you can find those categories? Are
No,
there
I don't.
any place else that you
Um,
can find those categories on HBO website?
and also like other thing that just came to my mind when I was like, because I rarely like browse for titles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, I usually have something in mind already. So in this view, I see it right now. It gives me like alphabet here to the right. But honestly, like this, other than if I would know already what I want to watch, it will be easy to like find it because of it. But like if I want to watch something by maybe highest IMDb score, like I don't know how I would look for that. So that's something I would be missing, like maybe at least some kind of like quality mark. Um, I think it would be also cool, like some searches like Pinterest, for example, you can combine categories.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's possible here. Like if I want to watch, like a comedy crime, like maybe it's in both, but like if I could filter by it, adding tags, that could be something interesting, I feel like. Um, and yeah, I don't see it here, so I feel it's pretty like bare bones. Some movies just added, so that these two I could probably check, especially not to lose a possibility to watch something that's going to be gone. So I could filter by that, but then also I'm going to the last chance, and then I'm losing the movie category tagging system. So it'd be again cool to like say like, okay, last chance comedies, and that would give me probably a couple options that would make it easier for me to decide if I want to watch something out of this or not.
Okay, so when you use HBO Max, how often do you browse those categories? Like every time, most of the time, sometimes, or never?
Sometimes I would say um, probably I would search, I would browse those if I wouldn't have something in mind, but that also just doesn't really happen often, because like my list of movies is like things I want to watch is like 60 plus. So I would probably rather go back to something that someone else recommended me, or rewatch something I know is good,
Mm-hmm.
than just like spend half an hour browsing like, do I want to watch comedy, okay, what's here, and just like going through the categories.
I
Unless I will be going here and then figure out, oh yeah, maybe Gumball is something that I've heard my friends recommended me, so I'm going to watch it right now. So I might use it as a reminder that like searching for something I've heard about, that could be cool.
I see. So do you have any suggestion, any other suggestion actually on how we could improve those categories? So you will use it more often?
Well, like I mentioned already, like cross tagging would be interesting, and then some sort of other list, like suggestion list, then alphabetical. I mean, I appreciate that for one type of search, but it's kind of like when you sort your files and you can sort them by like date modified, or like name, of course, size, yada yada. Um, you know, being able to select something by the critic score, or maybe even like how many Oscars did this movie got, or like nominations, or maybe even the year it was released. So yeah, I'll be curious to see a bit more options, especially as on a desktop, I'm more used to having more options, because I have keyboard and mouse, so I can like play with different configurations. While when you have a smart TV, let's say you have this tiny remote, and it's more challenging to click for different options. So I would definitely like to have a bit more flexibility.
Okay, now let's go back to your homepage, please.
Mhm.
If I ask you for any specific TV show, like the Newsroom, can you find it for me?
Newsroom.
Newsroom, yeah.
Newsroom.
Okay.
What episode are you watching?
Okay. No, I just needed you to find the TV show.
Yeah, I know.
But on a scale from 1 to 7, where 1 is very easy and 7 is very hard, how do you think the search was?
I think it was fine. Using typing here is pretty easy. So because we're also like talking about the menu, like there's a search next to it. So knowing what I want to watch is actually pretty straightforward.
Okay, so 1 to 7.
I would say 7.
Sorry, 1 is very easy and 7 is very hard.
Oh, sorry, 1.
Okay, just checking. And let's go back to the homepage.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Well, you see, okay, that might be the thing to say, like, I don't know how to go back to homepage from here right now, because before I went back to homepage, clicking on the HBO logo on top, and right now it's gone. So how do I go back to homepage?
I see.
I'll probably just like type HBO in my search bar.
Okay.
Yeah, because previously it was like just like I would go back by clicking here, right? On top, and like when I search, this thing is gone. So yeah, there's some room for improvement, because like I would still expect being able to go there.
Okay.
Okay.
So in your list of continue watching, do you have any TV show? Oh yeah, so Beef. Um, so before we do this test, before we start like clicking, I would like you to describe for me what you expect. So I'm gonna ask you to find the episodes for the TV show Beef. How would you do it? Like, how do you think you would do it?
So I'm looking for a specific episode.
Yeah, actually for the list of episodes.
Okay. I'll click on the thumbnail and then just start digging below here. So we have, these are extras. So yeah, here they are. So when I clicked on the episode, like it didn't give me other episodes here, which I would kind of expect to be here. I think it's also, I don't know, maybe Netflix works similarly. So when I couldn't find it here, I started, like browsing around the description, and then just like clicked on the title of the show. So I finally found it here with the seasons and, all the other episodes.
Okay, so on a scale from 1 to 7, where 1 is very easy again and 7 is very hard, how do you think the search was?
I would say 5.
5? Okay, why do you think that?
Well, because I was expecting to be able to access other episodes from the episode that I'm currently watching. Like if I maybe went to visit friends and watch 2 more episodes, and I just want to quickly jump to like 2 episodes ahead from mine, like it wasn't there. So I would definitely like that option to be there. And then I think when I was on this particular episode's side, like if this is the button to go to the like main side of the show, it's actually pretty tiny, compared to the whole screen. So, and it doesn't really look like buttons, like, these things like preview, add to my list, because of the color pop. They're definitely attracting my attention. Like, okay, I thought first thing, like I thought that, maybe one of those is like list of the episodes. So like I would expect title also to be kind of like color coded, so I know it's like an active link. It's like I can't click on any of this stuff, and they kind of look similar to this, which is confusing. And only because my cursor changes into this like a little hand, I see I can click on the title here. So I almost feel like the option to go back and see other episodes is pretty hidden.
Okay, so now let's go back again to the homepage.
And again, I have no idea how to go back to homepage from here. So I'll just click back until I'm back on the homepage. Okay.
Okay, good. So what do you think about the current HBO Max recommendation on content?
Like you mean the homepage recommendations?
Yeah, the recommendation. Yeah.
I honestly rarely pay attention to it. I mean, again, unless there's something that will remind me that I got recommendation from like someone who I know, like oh yeah, Lovecraft Country. I've heard about it, so I probably use that like that will actually reinforce my previous recommendation. Like I don't think I would really care about it because also because of the form of it, the carousel. I feel also like spending a lot of time in the internet, you get almost numb, and I would say you lose sensitivity to pay attention to things that like animate and scroll like ads. At least I do. So I almost like ignore this whole carousel because for me it just looks like a huge ad banner that I'm used to seeing on other websites. So I think like my perception actually like filters it out, and I'm more focused on like here and like lists below. But I honestly didn't realize almost that's here until you point me towards it.
Okay. You had any suggestion on how to do this recommendation better for you?
Um, let's think about it. Well, I think it would have to be something more personal, like, we recommend you this show because X, like because you watched another show and people who watched another show also like this one, or we recommend you this one because it's in similar genre as other shows you're watching. I would, like if there would be some more personal aspect than like, okay, HBO wants me to watch this show because they paid for it, so they want me to consume it.
Okay. And sorry, you can keep going.
Yeah, I think other thing is also like this type of list for me feels more like information and options,
Mhm.
while this kind of like scrolling like banner just like switches every 2-3 seconds for me just like feels like an ad and just like yeah I filter it out. So probably this form would work better for me with like recommendations, with maybe maybe it's like a thumbnail of it, title, and then like a small like one sentence blurb about why should I care.
Oh, I see. So, yeah, so you expect to see this recommendation list in what part?
Somewhere along these, like let's say if we could yeah I'm putting my fingers at the screen, sorry, but like if we say this whole banner goes away and like my continue watching and my list go higher, then probably the third one could be like recommended, and then if that would be recommended, then I could have like similar like square thumbnails in recommended, and then below it like have little chunk of text. Why is it recommended? Almost something like this area.
Okay.
So if there will be like 5 of those saying title and like why is this my recommendation? So that could probably bring my attention to it.
Okay. So now we are in the last part of the test. I sent to your email a 5-minute survey. So if you prefer, you can stop sharing the screen with me now. Open the link I sent with the survey and then share it again because I would like you to complete it with me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So first the mail. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
for the statements below, I would like you to read aloud and tell me what you think, what is going to be your scale choice and why.
For each of the following statement, mark one box that best describes your reactions to HBO Max today. I think that I would like to use HBO Max frequently. I'll say 4.
Well, why would you say 4?
Well, I mean, HBO has good content, so I would say like I'm okay with consuming content from like high quality sources, but I also like wouldn't give it 5, because again like I feel like I get enough screen time in my day, so whenever I spend time on like a movie or a show, I still get a bit of like, nah, maybe I shouldn't have like maybe in my free time I shouldn't be staring at screens so much. So
Okay.
that's why I found HBO Max unnecessarily complex. Um, I wouldn't say so. I think it's almost the other way around when it's overly simplified to the level where I don't find features that I would be looking for if HBO Max was my primary source of like shows/movie recommendations.
Okay.
I thought HBO Max was easy to use. Um, yeah, I think it's easy to use, other than the small mishaps like going back to homepage or finding the list of episodes. I mean, they are there. It's just they're like a bit in confusing spots, and with some slight adjustments could be done in more sophisticated, elegant way.
Okay.
So I need to lock my blinds because they're making noises. All right. Um, I think that I would need support think that I would need the support of a technical person to be able to use HBO Max. No, I don't need the support of a technical person. I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
I found various functions on HBO Max were well integrated. Um, what do you mean by various functions?
All of the functions in the website. So categories, recommendation, and then list of episodes.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's a kind of mixed bag because like I think search or categories are where I would be looking for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say on like functional integration, I would agree. But on the other hand, to your point about the recommendation bar, like integration of it makes me feel more like it's an ad, so I ignored it. So I would probably put it at free, not because I think they're all kind of in between, but some of them are well integrated, some of them are not well integrated.
Okay.
I thought there was so much inconsistency. There was too much inconsistency on HBO Max. There's some, so I would say I disagree that there's too much, but I agree there's some. So um, like here, I would I would imagine that most people would learn to use HBO Max very quickly.
Sorry, you say that there was some which
Yeah, like the navigation, like the home button is there and then it isn't. Um, then there's also kind of hard to expect consistency from them, but I have like a mental model of like, for example, where to look for other episodes,
mm-hmm.
and it's usually below the episode I'm watching. And I see it that maybe HBO thinks it's not a place for it, but because there are already other services that design this way, if they don't follow that mental model, I'm feeling a bit lost. So it's not an inconsistency within an HBO Max, but it is inconsistency within a type of streaming service product.
Okay.
Any other clarifying questions?
No.
Okay. I would imagine most people would learn to use HBO Max very quickly. Yeah, I think that's right. Um,
Why do you
Also
think that?
because, well, the functionality of it is pretty limited. So like, yeah, it's like category search, and that's it basically. So there's not that many functions to learn, and within these, they're there. It's pretty straightforward. Unless there are some functions that like maybe they're there, like maybe there is a way to sort movies by score or length or something, but it's so hidden that I have no idea how to do it. So the functional, like basic functionality, is pretty straightforward.
Okay.
I found HBO Max very cumbersome to use. In what way?
Like heavy or something that is tough to use or it was too complex.
Yeah, again, I feel it's pretty simple. Um, Other than really little things, it's like maybe it's like my personal laziness, but like oh, I have to click a back button right now instead of clicking the home there. So it's like there are extra clicks I have to do
Mm-hmm.
that make me think about it. Um, Overall, I think it's pretty easy, but there are small things that could be fixed.
Okay.
I felt very confident using HBO Max. Yeah. no questions there. Like, if I know what I'm after, I think it's easy. If I don't know what I'm after, like if I would be just like browsing for something, I think it could take me some time because there's like if I don't know what I'm after and then like presented with a grid of like 300 movies, like I can pretty quickly be like, nah, I don't know, maybe next one, let's scroll more, and then I could probably lose something that I thought might be interesting. So um, I felt confident if I know what I'm after. If I'm just like trying to find something to watch, I think it'll be a different story.
I see.
I need to learn a lot of things before I could get going with HBO Max. No, no, I think I don't feel like I need to learn anything else. Yeah, it's good. Should I hit submit?
Yeah, please. So that's it. I thank you so much for your time today. It was really helpful.
Yeah, of course. Happy to help.
Okay, goodbye.